Good morning, everyone. It's me, Coffee Stitcher. It is the second? Yes, second Sunday in December. How is everybody this week? It's really good to hear. I lost my train of thought. I did not, as some of you probably noticed, we did not go to Stitch Niche, but I think we're supposed to be going this week. So, we're going to Stitch Niche this week. We had a pretty good week here. It finally got cold, but it's about to warm right back up. Welcome to Texas. San Antonio got snow. We did not. I love snow. So, that did make me kind of sad. Alright, so I've got stuff to show. No haul, but I do have a finish that will hopefully next week be an FFO. If not, it'll have to be one the week after, because it's a Christmas present. I've got to have it done. And we've got, of course, some of the lovely Q&A. And then I have a new start planned for today. So, we'll dive in with the good old Q&A. Joey Bedard, I have seen both of those. While I like the saying for the I'm a Stitcher, it's cute, it's just not really my thing. And Coffee Quaker, I, again, really like the saying, but I don't like the rest of it. But yes, first I drink the coffee, then I do the things. But I'm so glad that I've helped get you back with the stitching. Let's see. Cassandra Martinez and I will be working on Storytime Sampler next year together, because I'm going to finish that next year. Jennifer Thompson asked, do you buy new floss for every kit you put together? Do you share between projects? I've got a fairly decent set of DMC. I don't have a full set. So, for a long time what I did was I kept the floss for each project in the bag with it so that I didn't have to worry about searching. But I'm trying something new where I only pull the colors that I need for the section that I'm currently working on. So, for instance, on Longfellows, I only pulled the colors that were in what I was going to be doing, and then when I was done, I put them back. So, I'm hoping maybe that will help with the, with having to continually buy floss. But we'll see. We'll see. I will say I usually leave, if it's got a, hand-dyed floss, I tend to leave those with the project because of dye lot issues. Shannon A. asks, would I be willing to share my color conversion for the border of the giant Harry Potter? I am using NPI Silk. I had it written down somewhere, but I don't know what happened to it. So, yeah. If I can find where I wrote it down, I'd be happy to share it. I know I'm using African Violets from the Karen collection for the blue sort of filigrees at the top, but I don't know beyond that. But I definitely did NPI, and really all I did was I color corrected, so I changed the red to burgundy, the yellow in Gryffindor I changed to gold. Yeah, I just really color corrected, and then I went, because I was at my LNS, and they had a full set of NPI. May still do, but at the time they definitely did. And I went over to the DMC, and I pulled the DMCs that I thought were the right color, and then I walked over to the NPIs, and I did this, and then I picked up a color that matched. So, Pammy asks, how long does your hair have to be to donate it? And how long are you growing yours? I'm actually going to be donating mine to Pantene, because I've heard some not so great things about Locks for Love. So I'm going to donate to Pantene instead, and it has to get to about there. It's got to be 8 inches. So, if you'll pardon the slight vulgarity here, once it hits my nipples, I can cut it. And then I will probably cut it just about all off. But as you can see, we're probably a good 6 inches from that now. Let's see. Welcome, Caterpillar Cross Stitch, Sally. You've got some really cute designs. I will be watching this year's Mystery Sal grow, and I may join it later. But I like it. Teresa Hartson asks, what publication is Summer Patchwork from? It's from a Just Cross Stitch. The video where I started it, which was probably 2-3 video, no, probably more than that, I think I started that mid-November. So the mid-November one, probably, let me look at a calendar, and I can probably tell you better. It would be the one that was on November 19th. I mention it there. And yes, I can start holding pieces up longer. I didn't realize that I wasn't holding them up long enough, so I will definitely do it. Christy, that is actually the fan, and I can't really do anything about it because otherwise it would be ridiculously hot in here. So I'm sorry for the squeaking noise. I don't notice it because I'm used to it, but that's what it is. I do not have any stitched items on our tree. Next year I'm actually going to be doing a series of felt 12 Days of Christmas ornaments that I found that I really like, so I'm going to do those, and hopefully those will go on the tree. Let's see. Lori Gafor asks, so when you say you're stitching from stash, does that mean you will include purchasing threads in that quest? My goal is to stitch from my patterns and fabrics I already have, but may have to purchase threads on an as-needed basis. I'm going to do everything I can to stitch just from my stash. So that's threads, patterns, fabric. I've set a $25 a month budget. This does not include my Fabric of the Month membership with Eric, so that still will be in there. But otherwise, it will be just there, and then my finishes will be where I will be, you know, forthcoming. All right. Let's see. Cross Stitch Queen wants to know, am I still stitching that tea piece that is part of a series that that I did the Southern tea one? I have the chart. I have not started yet. That's going to be one of my starts next year. I love Tempting Tangles. Absolutely love Tempting Tangles. I overwhelmed myself with Tempting Tangles. So I had to kind of rein myself back in. So we've got Longfellows going. I'll probably bring back in one of the ones that I've started, and then once I've got another couple of them finished, then I'll go back to I'll bring one of the tea ones up. So, but I do plan to. But I know exactly what you were talking about. But so far this whole mood stitching thing has worked pretty well. Alright, Lori S. Asks, when I start a project, do I start in the center, upper corner, lower corner? And if you were to guess how many hours you stitch in a day, what would it be? I generally will start in the center, unless it's something that has to be started in a corner because of either it's a mystery, usually because it's a mystery sampler. Or in the case of Giant Harry Potter, it was just easier to start and work your way down. That's a beast. So that's generally, I generally do start in the center. I don't necessarily pick a particular direction and work in quadrants. I do sometimes, if it's like a page-specific thing. But generally, I just sort of stitch out from the center. And how many hours in a day do I stitch? Generally at lunch I get about half an hour if I don't have to leave and either go get lunch or run an errand. If I have to do either of those, then there's no lunchtime stitching. So generally there's about a half an hour at lunch. I'd say usually I get started stitching in the evening between 7:30 and 8, depending on when we get done watching TV and taking the dogs out and showering. So usually by about 8 o'clock. And then I usually get to stitch for about 3 hours. So I get about 3.5 during the week, and then on the weekends I get anywhere from 0, depending on what's going on, to 10 or 11 hours. So, yeah. Charferone asks, have I ever counted wrong and stitched and didn't take it out constantly? Constantly. And I believe that be's the end of this week's Q&A. So now it's time for a little more coffee. Alright. So, what did I work on this week? Well, as you know, I was going to work on Longfellow's Round Tower. And I'd actually intended to do a little more, but I got, and you can't really see it anymore, but I got a paper cut. And I think that was Wednesday. Couldn't stitch. It was in just the right spot. So, while I had intended to do the over one hummingbirds, I didn't. So here's the overall. I did the bottom of the blue tower, the grass, and the tree. So next time I work on it, I've got words to do. I've got words to do just for you. So that's where I'm at, and then we'll have a page finish. So I'll definitely have a page finish the next time I work on it. But I absolutely love this blue tower. I think it's just ridiculously pretty. So there it is. So loving working on this one. We've got 6 pages left. Well, I guess 5.5 now. So most likely this will get finished next year. Alright, so I worked on that, and then I worked on Partially at Work, but I worked on Gypsy Hearts and finished it. So there it is. Finished it last night in all its beauty. I used all the called for colors, all the called for beads. I'm going to turn it into a no-sew cube and give it to my adopted grandmother for Christmas. So there it is. This is by Shepherd's Bush. It was a kit. And really, honestly, with the exception of the little 3 extra charms, you would need to buy more of the Aversois, or is it Soie d'Alger? No, it's the Aversois. Aversois silk. You would need more of the cream and more of the green, but and obviously fabric, but there's like enough you could make a second one. So I may end up racking it at some point. Who knows? But there it is. So I will get this ironed and buy the stuff on Monday at Joann's because I have to go, and we'll get it finished. So there we go. And so today I will be starting with good old Sarah Stitches, the Beatrix Potter. Yes, I'm aware that So, the Beatrix Potter sampler. And I will probably go ahead and get it started with the words, but I don't know yet. But I will figure it out, because I'm good at that. So, and I'm just going to do it in all the called for DMC. I may change the color for her signature and the words, but I may not. So, and I'll be doing it on this piece of Vintage Light Exemplar by Lakeside Linens that I got from my Stitchy box. So, there we go. And I guess with that in mind, that's kind of it for this week. So I'm going to start that. Don't know what else I'll work on. But I'll work on stuff. I am going to take Summer Patchwork to work, so that I can work on that little border. Yeah. I have Friday off. Anyhow, I guess that's kind of it for me. I will see you all next time. Bye!